Let me
so proud of
blabber
you. You
for a
figured
second.
it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I finally did. Yeah, it took like a month. Yeah. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
That's a W. Everyone give him a
Oh,
W in the chat.
yeah.
Um,
Do hands. I mean, I don't know who my audience is right now.
well, I got thoughts, and I really felt like giving my thoughts yesterday on my live show, and then getting trash talked about it. Without using my name, I was like, "Oh, I've arrived."
You were subtweeted about your thoughts, Danny?
Because you were
On
like, "Wait a
Twitter?
minute,
You were
did
added
you
at? You were
actually
added at?
open?" Huh?
You were added at when they add the at and they
No,
said
they
it.
They
Yeah.
didn't add
No,
it.
they said something from my stream, but kind of twisted
Yeah.
the words and didn't
Oh.
say my name.
Sounds like the
And I
internet.
was
It's
like,
fine.
I shared it like I do with people like that. And I said, "Oh, you got my show. Good for you."
Smash that like. That's what I tell
That's
you.
right.
Yeah, good for
Smash
you.
that
Thanks
like.
for the engagement, baby. Thanks for the engagement.
Right.
I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's the worst suit we've ever seen.
Mhm.
I love Kingdom Come, first of all. Kingdom Come is a fantastic book. Alex Ross,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. So the S right away, and look at the S. Look at it closely. What's missing? Because when we saw the first emblem reveal, there was yellow piping around the emblem. And kind
Right.
of
A
in
little
the
more
this one doesn't have
more
it.
distinct. Right. It's there, but it's like thin,
Yes.
right?
This one doesn't have it.
Well,
I look on the outside. There's no yellow piping.
Mm.
And on the first emblem, when he first revealed that emblem, there was yellow piping. So this tells me that this is incomplete.
Okay.
This is classic James Gunn. I'm just going to throw something out there so I can change it later.
okay.
So real
So-
quick, Danny. Keith, you wanted to chime in just for a second, and Danny, you finish your thought after Keith kind of.
Well, it kind of looks like it is. It's just very dirty. I mean, this suit, as everybody keeps saying, it looks like it's been through something.
Yeah.
And by keeping it a kind of like giving it more of a cloth material look,
Oh, wow.
it's the kind of thing that they were doing in the comics, at least since I've been reading Superman comics is a long time. That sometimes he would have to do his own laundry. He hadn't had a chance to do laundry, so it looks like he's in the middle of something where he's changing into his uniform, and he hasn't had a chance to really clean it up from the last thing he's done.
And he's thinking about it because look at his face. He's like,
So you
"I
say,
haven't
so you're like, I
gotten
had to do
to
laundry.
my
Where's
damn
Lois?
laundry and
I had to
winks."
put a ring on it. But
He's like,
Keith, so
I
you're
ain't got
saying it
time
was
for this.
dirty. That's what you're saying. It's too dirty to see.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yellow,
because
piping, as they say.
because if you get closer, you can kind of see it. It's there, but it's very dirty. Very dirty. I mean, it's just the entire uniform. That chest area. Well, it's a target, really.
It's battle worn.
Yeah.
And I got a cleaner look in just a moment.
He's a working man Superman. Like he's
I
dealing
like
with
that.
every threat that's going on, and you
I
don't
like
have no
that.
time to clean
He's
up.
a working man Superman.
Yeah, and he's strapping
Danny,
up to go back out there.
Danny, you like that angle? Because I was going to get into that
do.
more actually. So you actually like as he's putting on his boots.
I think Superman
Suiting up.
needs to get a little dirty. He needs
going
to get
the
a little
Ford
dirty.
warehouse,
Okay,
out
he's
the
always been
Ford.
kind of too much of the Boy Scout, too one-dimensional for me. I like DC Comics. Y'all know I love.
Oh, yeah.
I've got them everywhere. Okay, I love it. But Soups was never my go-to because he was too one-dimensional. There was nothing I could truly relate to with him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have any failings or anything. No slip-ups, no screw-ups, no L's for Soups. So getting him a little dirty, letting him get a little dirty. I mean, that kind of adds to it. That kind of makes Superman sexy.
This is interesting.
Can I ask, when did you come into Superman? I mean, what was your first really introduction to the character?
I'm Death of Superman.
I don't even remember it.
90s.
Yeah, it's been so long.
Dan Jurgens as my Superman, basically.
Because I came in
probably 85, right before
85. Okay,
yeah, the first,
Mine was Superman #1, the reboot in the 80s. He fought Brainiac too.
Okay, so yeah,
That's my
I'm older than you guys, because when they were when they were drawing Superman in the very early 70s, he was very lonely. So his parents weren't alive.
Yeah.
So every holiday season, they always had the proverbial everybody's going to do the holiday thing, and the only person that has nowhere to go and no one to be with was Clark. And so that's the way it was for years prior to the reboot in the 80s, where they brought the Man of Steel miniseries, and John Byrne came in and redid everything and basically gave him back his parents.
God, I love John Byrne. I love everything he does.
Yeah. I see, that's, to me, if I had been given the opportunity to make a Superman movie, I just would have done that. I would have done the entire Man of Steel John Byrne miniseries, because it helps to explain everything. And it would have pissed a few people off who didn't like the explanation of the whole force field around him. I probably would have changed that, but I liked how they introduced Batman and Superman together, how he was introduced to Lois, how they introduced even Lex, and kind of turned him into someone that's even a bit more of an a-hole. But also very much like a lot of very wealthy people in the 80s.
And
he toyed with people. Not just Superman, he toyed with everybody.
Oh yeah. And back to the suit real quick, back to the suit, but
yeah.
Can we all just be grateful that we're not getting the horrific black and neon blue nightmare they did in the 90s? We're like, we gave Superman a new suit. Check it out. It's cool now.
Yeah.
And it was just
the lightning.
What is
lightning
this?
There are worse things than this. I'll give you that.
There you go.
There are definitely real quick. I want to get the super chat, and then we're going to talk more about this working man's approach. This sounds to be purposeful, Speedy. I'm going to throw it to you in just a moment on that. But real quick, we got Nightmare Allegory with the $10 super chat. So I clutched my pearls at all the collateral damage going on because James Gunn's annoyed Superman reluctantly answering the hero's call. Ha ha, or bah ha ha ha. Okay,
I think it's about laundry day.
The choice, okay. We got Superman purists, then we have people that's just, they're just like, bro, why is Superman, casually sitting down, putting on a boot while like Metropolis is being vaporized behind him, right? That's
yeah, it's a little.
Keith, is that a fair question? Or
because the whole thing about Superman is he can quickly do stuff. To me, I always liked that in reading a lot of the Superman books when I was growing up. I liked the fact that he was very quick. Everyone else in comics, it would take time, although I think they got to do that thing, after the Batman television series, the whole thing with the pole and being able to change instantly. I never really got that one. But, Superman's ability to be able to change quick was always a great part of that character and one of the reasons why it worked for him, because he could quickly get to things. Although, again, in this version of the DC universe, it isn't just Superman. There are a lot of heroes.
No phone booths anymore.
Yeah,
basically Justice League. Yeah,
it's Justice Society. Remember, it's what James Gunn said.
Yeah.
It's the Justice Society.
They're gonna play on until they really forms it.
Well, I mean, by merging the Justice Society into the same universe with Superman and everyone else of Earth 1, you give yourself a lot more heroes to play around with. If Black Adam had been a bigger hit, I would have said that we would have had a very good shot at seeing Pierce Brosnan again as Fate. We
would have had them all back, and we would have had more of the JSA moving to like Justice League International level.
Yeah. And again, it's meant to be a world that it isn't. You don't have heroes because of Superman. What you have are people that stood up to do the right thing, and they've been doing it since World War II. And so now Superman is just the latest in a long line of people, but he will become the greatest.
It's like a lived-in world, right? Which I'm not mad at that approach, right?
Yeah.
I did, but first I liked how Zack Snyder had, again, Superman, he actually came into a lived-in world as well too, in Man of Steel. If you kind of backtrack to what happened in BVS and everything, so it's like I like that approach where Superman kind of just comes here and there's other metas out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not mad about that. But as far as with this, the sense of urgency, Speedy.
Yeah.
Like, are you now? I'm gonna be real quick here. Like, I'm not like that mad. I get why people is annoyed saying, "Why is Superman like?" I mean, again, this thing like the Daily Planet is done. Like he's already shot it. And he's kind of chilling there with the boobs, Speedy.
Right.
Like,
so
does that bother you?
We don't. It does bother me a little bit. We don't know exactly what's going on, so it's hard to judge. Maybe one of his superpowers are shooting at this thing and holding it back. Well,
it could be Green Lantern and a Star Sapphire shooting the Green Lantern in a field bubble.
Green
could be a bunch of different things.
Yeah,
it could be a bunch of different things.
I don't think he's going to have Star Sapphire at this point. And if he does, that's right. If you do introduce her, you're going to have Hal. That's my only thing about the current generation of fans who've come along who don't. Warner Brothers has done a really bad job of adapting Jon Stewart. And one of the things that they keep messing up about the character is that he's married or was married. And that ties in with Hal's years of that ties in with Hal's years of being a Green Lantern. The greatest villain that Hal ever faced is kind of related to Jon Stewart's wife. That ties in. And then the fact that Jon Stewart actually is related to Jefferson Pierce, the Black Lightning, that they have a connection. And there's all this really cool stuff that Warner Brothers has never really delved into. It's my biggest pet peeve about the DC and Marvel films. They don't go deep with a lot of characters, and they always seem to choose the same 5 to 7 characters without bringing in more characters. Because there's a lot of characters in Marvel, and there's a lot of characters in DC. Contrary to what a lot of you out there may think there's even more than you think.
Watch Justice League International. Though we were all there's so many. You're like, oh my god.
Well,
make your head spin.
There's a lion crossing over into Justice.
Cap, I love you.
I saw a meme that had it might be Godzilla, and they showed the Godzilla cartoon, the crossover Spider-Man, Superman Godzilla one.
Because I'm late. Because I was late to pop in. I'm not sure if anyone's mentioned this before. But my biggest concern with this suit is that they didn't do the boat neck. They went straight for the Fortnite collar.
Oh, okay. So we got a collar.
How is he gonna hide that under his clothes? I see a lot of turtlenecks.
Yeah,
he's not gonna hide it. He has to go to his high-rise apartment in the metropolis and change into his suit one piece at a time.
He's got super speed.
Dave Blass. Dave Blass, who is an amazing production designer for properties like Star Trek and so on. He shared this picture and he said, well, you see what technology advances. There's no telephone booths for Superman to change in anymore. So he's got to do it in his living room like the rest of us who woke up too late.
This was a purpose. This was a purposeful.
Yeah.
Yes. Keith, you have something to say on that, Keith? Then we're gonna go to the Watchmen thing.
If I remember correctly, the original picture that was put out on X by James Gunn was that this was meant to actually be a picture that they took while they were shooting. So obviously this means something. Now, while they were shooting, during a pause and a break, or is this an actual scene where he's acting in the film? That's the part that nobody knows, because Gunn left it vague enough that it could go either way. Because this isn't like Christopher Reeve's introduction, where it was all of those photographs they put out for the newspapers and stuff, where he posed with New York in the background. Because that was the original introduction to Superman for everybody with Christopher Reeve, was those pictures that they took of him posing near New York in the background.
Right.
And so when you get to Henry Cavill, they actually chose a scene really literally out of the film. They just took a portion out of the movie and
Right,
made that
the Smallville fight.
Yeah,
I think.
and the fight, yeah.
I'll pull it up in a minute. Yeah,
that's
he's
right.
looking up, right? I believe he's looking up.
Well, he's looking.
Epic, epic shot.
Yes. He got knocked into the bank, and so he's there at the bank vault. But with this, it's like a matter of fact. It's kind of, you can take it either way. But I think that's one of the problems. I think James Gunn needs to hire a team and just stay off of social media. Just worry about making the movies and let a team take over.
After this super deal.
Yeah, he needs to. So again, I don't see anything wrong with letting pictures out there, but he should let an advertising team choose the pictures rather than him doing it.
He should let a whole team handle all the media.
Yeah.
He needs to not do any of it,
bro.
Right, and I get it. I get it from like a creative standpoint. He's trying to like sell this Superman. Okay, this is the Superman that the story of the Superman, the Superman story that I'm trying to tell is this, hardworking Superman goes up against every challenge. If you guys watch the animated Justice League cartoon, when Superman starts interacting with all multiple heroes that are in that show. He always does it from a point of, he's trying to get everybody to work as a team, and each hero comes with their own stuff or their own problems or their own baggage or their own ideas of how things should be done. You know what I mean? And he has a lot of the approach in the cartoon, and just for example, and is him dealing with that. And I think James Gunn wants to do a little bit of that too with all these character and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Which could be a slippery slope in a narrative about only Superman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. Although a better example would be the Young Justice version of the Justice League, because that to me is a lot closer to the comics. While I enjoyed the Justice League animated series, that is actually more of an alternate version of it.
Oh, that's bad.
Because of which Flash they chose to be the original, quote unquote, original Flash for the Justice League, or the fact that they have John Stewart there. I mean, these are not the characters that were there at the founding of the Justice League. So it's more of an alternative universe version. So that puts all those episodes in a different light. It's a different version of Earth with all of that stuff. Young Justice is a lot closer to what the comics have.
So. That's the Cap reference right there. It doesn't Winter Soldier suit.
Captain Rex reminded me of something we said on my stream last night, that Bruce is going to walk up and be like, so how does a reporter afford this loft apartment in Midtown? Like
cover's blown right there.
Yeah.
Like that leather chair is a reporter's 2-year salary.
But you know what? It goes back to what we're saying, that James Gunn needs to just hire some more people, or let some marketing people make some decisions about images and things that he leaks and posts before he posts them. Because from a creative standpoint, he probably was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to put this picture up because I think it shows it from a creative thing. This is the kind of Superman I want to portray. He's not afraid to get dirty. He's putting on his boots. He's going to go meet the challenge. You know what I mean? And a marketing person should have said, "Hey, James Gunn, let's rethink this. Let's meet tomorrow morning. Let's look at some other images and pick something better that we think will activate the fan base." There you go.
Call Ryan Reynolds.
Somebody like that. Call Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is really good at this.
Call Ryan Reynolds.
I'm sure he's not expensive.
Speedy, I want to get this workman approach, because according to what I'm hearing, and I think it's reports out there as well, is that this was purposeful. Like
definitely.
I'm just saying, if anyone's out there saying, "Oh my goodness, like Gunn, why'd you have Superman sitting down? Why do you have him putting his boot on?
Because it really with him sitting like that and in that position where he's kind of hunched over a bit, pulling on the boot, they're really disguising a lot of the suit. So it really isn't an accurate reveal. It's not a full reveal. They have never revealed a suit like this before. Every time they reveal a super suit, it's Superman with a solid background. He's standing there and there's a solid background.
With the two hands on the hips like this, and that's it.
Right, or flying or something like that. So, but my problem, Danny, is that if you're going to reveal the suit. Like, why are we still hiding trunks? We see it.
I see them trunks. Let me see your trunks.
That's trunked up.
Brandon Rouse. I don't know. But the penny look, I had no idea. We're going to find out. But this workman's, according to what I'm hearing, James Gunn wants this workman approach. Speed, like this was purposeful. This was very purposeful. Is that hitting? Because I'll say for me, I'm used to the Superman. I mean, obviously, Zack Snyder did the, gods among men. Like Gunn is literally doing the opposite. He's saying, I want my Superman to feel like he's just a normal human, just happens to have abilities, which I gotta see the story first, right? But initially, I don't agree with that. I don't like that.
No, you shouldn't agree with it because he's not a normal.
He's an alien.
He's not human.
Yeah.
He's Kryptonian. That's the whole thing. He's a Kryptonian out of his element. He's a fish out of water. He's an immigrant. It's an immigrant tale.
Yeah.
He's a Kryptonian among humans.
Well, it's a science fiction immigrant tale. I mean, that's the thing. The character was created during a time when sci-fi was really a big thing with people, young people, especially in America at that time. And so they couldn't get enough of science fiction. And here was a story that was really different. These two kids from Cleveland create this character and take it a whole different direction and end up basically sparking a revolution in basically creating the superhero comic genre.
Absolutely. From a couple of 16, 17-year-old kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Speedy, is this a mistake? They're doing the work. I understand creatively what Gunn's trying to do. He's trying to make Superman relatable. He wants his Superman
trying to
feel
show
relatable.
a relatable Superman or a relatable character to his fan, to potential fan base. But it's definitely a mistake. I mean, just wasn't a good choice. Wasn't a good choice for maybe later on. Okay, we showed later on. If this image came out like 2 or 3 images later, nobody we wouldn't even be talking about it.
But don't worry, in 6 months, James Gunn's gonna hop on Twitter and tell us all how we misinterpreted it.
It's coming, right? It's coming. No,
he's gonna have to take a huge poo, and he's gonna get on Twitter while he's on the toilet, and he's gonna yell at all of that.
Yeah, there you go. I like Bat Dan's thoughts. It's all about execution, and Gun Poo didn't execute. There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
First impression was not. If this is what you're going for, the workman's again, he's dirty.
And honestly, I don't think this picture, this post, has anything to do with Superman or the suit. I think it has everything to do with the background. I think he wanted to show us this for the background and have us all like, what is happening? What is that?
That background does look like AI generated.
It looks like a hamster ball to me. Yeah, it looks like a hamster ball.
And this is from me that I generate AI backgrounds all the time at work. Okay, so
there's a character. I think it's called I think it's a Solaris or something like that. There's something connected with the All-Star Superman run, and a lot of people are saying that's like a enemy from that. We'll see. Again, Gunn's being he's really quiet now, so I don't know if we get any explanation. But again, just overall, whether this film turns out good or not, the story we have no idea right now. First impressions, this wasn't the move. The looseness of the suit. Before I kind of move on here, the looseness of the suit was my main problem. Keith, does this bother this wrinkling at the shoulders there? Does that bother you? Is it's really upsetting me, Keith. Like see this. Like
do I need to send you some orange slices? Do I need to give you a juice box?
I'm about to crash out over this wrinkled shoulder. I like the collar. I like the new 52. He has the Zack Snyder aesthetic. It's just that wrinkle.
I think they're trying to show that it could withstand space travel, supersonic speeds, getting hit with a fireball, things like that.
It's that workman thing. It's a real suit, guys, not CGI, right?
And can I say something? I hear a lot of people, and it's happened several times in the chat as well. Like, it looks rubber. The suit looks rubber. I'm like, honey, all super suits look rubber these days. Every
rubber. I don't know
one of them.
Yeah.
every single one of them do. They all look like dodgeballs from middle school gym class. But back in the day, they were just Lycra and spandex.
We got the world-renowned artist right here, Noah Leon Flores.
Hey,
name is all over the world here. He says Susan needs to go to an alteration shop somewhere in Seattle, specifically. Noel, like, tell me in the chat, like, this wasn't the move, right? This wasn't for your, again, first impressions. Superman. This is what we want to show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a poor choice for first. Definitely a poor choice for a first impression.
Like Scarif Scuttlebutt Podcast said in the chat just a few moments ago, if you think about it, it's excellent marketing, because what are we talking about? What is everyone talking about on the internet? Maybe it was on purpose.
Okay, let's talk on that. Let's talk on it then. Okay, if it's a
trying to pull a hat trick,
like, this is a dangerous game, is my point, Speedy, right? Like, that's dangerous to do it like this.
Trying to outpsych the community, the fan base, trying to hat trick the fan base. You know, I don't know.
That's not a game you want to play right there, though. Like,
that's like faking an onside kick and then trying to pass it. You know?
No, he's doing Howard Stern. He's just being Howard Stern with it. He's going to do something. He'll say something that's purposely upsetting or offensive or annoying, and to get us talking about it.
Well, it's the Disney playbook. You know, this is what they've been using. This is what Lucasfilm has been doing. This is what Marvel has been doing. Say something to upset people because it gets them talking. And for James Gunn, just taking a picture between takes on the set, and you let that go, and look what happens. You know, I just sent you a picture, Syl, that somebody digitally cleaned up the costume to show what it would look like.
This is
if it were actually clean, and we could see a better view of it.
Yeah.
I'll
have that up in a moment.
It is just I think that what James Gunn is attempting to do is just, again, as Danny said, this is just to get us to talk about it and keep everything out there, because, again, if he really wanted to go with first impressions, I mean, for me, my first impression was the picture that he posted of the entire cast the day before revealing that they had already started filming. So the entire cast together in Atlanta, posing together for that picture. I think that's really was my first impression. And then the video that they had posted of the three actors who were playing Lex, Clark, and Lois together. That was done on, I think it was on Instagram and on TikTok. And this is what it is. For those of us that are a little older and slower, maybe this is a surprise. But
thing, the last film that said, "Oh, we're going to use, negative marketing to our favor," that was a little Sony film called Morbius. That didn't work, right?
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Dude, let me tell you something. Morbius is a good time if I imbibe my special med that come in a
all there.
Yeah, I do that, and then I watch Morbius, and it's just a good time for everyone.
Oh man,
I agree with that. Now, real quick, before we move the conversation along, it's a lot to talk about with this reveal, for sure. One thing I do want to pull up, Keith, before we look at that clean look, because I have that already. I already had that shot, but you put up the references that was used for this suit.
Oh, nice.
And again, it's like, I do like, again, the new 52 collar. I'm not mad at that. The Fleischer yellow outline to the symbol, though, is dirty. We'll see. Classic trunks, which is a Reeves. Kingdom Come logo, we all saw that coming. And then the Alex Ross lines, that's what
I love Alex Ross. You shut your mouth.
I love Alex Ross. And that's Kingdom Come.
Shut your dirty mouth.
Those lines are wrinkled. That's what I'm not liking. Okay, that's what I'm not liking.
Here we go. That's better.
Well, it's the cloth. I mean, that's one of the things that has been missing for a lot of superhero costumes. How many superhero costumes, beginning with say going all the way back to Blade, how many superhero costumes have actually been made of cloth? Not very many, if at all. X-Men, that's leather. You know, Spider-Man is a kind of, you know, that was neoprene, slightly thicker. Yeah, that was neoprene. And then you know, you go to Batman Begins, that wasn't. I mean, Iron Man, well, of course. You know,
right.
you go down the list. I think getting back to actually cloth uniforms is different. You know, it helps you to stand out.
And for all of
this was purposeful.
And for all of us who grew up with the Christopher Reeves Superman, it shows everything, honey. Like the cloth costumes.
That's a shot you waiting on to see. Let's show everything, right? Hey, you know, that's
look, fun, I guess. Ever since it was pointed out that somebody's place down there for one of the Batman films wasn't as big as the co-star film.
So, are we talking about George and why can't I say his name? Chris.
But it wasn't George he was talking about.
He was talking about
Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer.
It was Val Kilmer and Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell, yeah.
Was bragging to Val Kilmer that his codpiece was bigger than Val's. And he still talks about it to this day.
You didn't no reason.
Hey. It's not like I looked down there myself, but after you said something,
it's just what I heard.
After no, it's a video. You can find it. Go on YouTube. Yeah, he's bragging about it.
Yeah, he's
like,
he's so proud. Poor Val Kilmer. Oh man, he's still hotter. Man. Sorry, Chris.
But I appreciate because this is okay. So this point, why I brought this up, and I'm glad Keith sent this. This is the legacy angle to this film. I know Gunn changed the film, the title, but this is what he was talking about, Superman Legacy. He's taking pieces of all the films. Now, one thing that's missing here, again, the aesthetic is Man of Steel, Zack Snyder. He's actually taking that aesthetic as well. When you see the film, it's going to have, probably not as dark, obviously, that you see right here, but he's actually going to have almost like that filter that Zack Snyder used, which is interesting, you know, interesting choice overall, but that's the legacy build right there. So we'll see what comes from that. Dave Miller said Clark looks like he just lost a dance off. That's another Guardians angle,
or Fortnite, because it does look like the Fortnite Superman costume.
For sure. Shout out real quick to Real Talk Productions, Carlos in the chat. I believe you upgraded to level 2 members and above. We got a special live stream coming up real soon about Deadpool Wolverine. I know too much about the film. We're going to save it for the members. We want to spoil everything publicly. We'll talk about that then. So good stuff. So what I want to kind of move to, because again, we all kind of agree this wasn't the best first look and things like that. You got
clean uniform.
Clean will be good, and we'll get to the clean.
Yeah.
One thing that people are putting out there is, hey, the actual structure of the suit. Because again, my problem is the looseness of it. I think this actually could work if it looks like it fits him. But we'll bookmark that. There's this fan edit here. If it ever comes up, let me see. Hold up. Got too much going on here. Okay, it's not coming up. That's dope. Here we go. All right, this here. This is a fan made thing, and their name is etched there. I'm sorry, I don't know their name offhand here, but
Anna Nix's.
A lot of people was talking about the classic like Reeves look. Like this is what I was actually expecting with the Kingdom Come shield. But I think the more I think about it, it's not fitting James Gunn's story. He wants that bulky look, workman's look for his film, right? Like, I mean, or do we think this would have worked better, Speedy? I don't know, right? Like, I don't.
Maybe. I don't know. It's like I said, like I think it was a very artsy decision on James Gunn's part, you know, to show this Superman in that light because of whatever plot devices or things he has in his head. Right. How he wants to present the Superman, and that's it. It wasn't a choice by any marketing or any other. It wasn't vetted by anybody else. I don't think.
Right. No, this is just totally Gunn's choice. No, for sure. This was all Gunn, creative choice. I'm all for the creator doing their thing, but then you have again first impression. Because again, I'm fine. He didn't do the classic thing. Because I like the new 52 look. I actually like that.
You're such a weirdo. Nobody likes it.
I'm loving the collar. First impressions, though, you compare this to Henry Cavill's first look, right? Henry Cavill battle mode, and then at that time, I remember people was like, "Does it have trunks or not? Like, it looks dark down there." Like, everybody don't have to look that hard. But
why is everyone so concerned about what covers Superman's junk? That's what I want to know.
That's welcome to superhero junk talk.
That's true. It's a little bit too concerned about the trunks.
I mean, we've talked about a lot of superheroes junk just in this stream in the last 5 minutes. Just
to be fair, Danny, you was the one bringing it up, but yeah,
actually no. I just chimed in with my opinions.
Okay, fair enough. But first impressions is the point I'm trying to make here.
Yes,
about Henry Cavill. Like again, showing Superman in a more heroic pose. Now, like you said, Keith, this was straight from the film. Zach gave you a shot, in the middle of a fight with Feora, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was sold on this film. Again, the timetable here, we're talking about after Superman Returns, right? After everything that happened with that film, underwhelming for a lot of people. Then you show this next, reboot action. Superman Cavill looked great. And I was excited for this film instantly. And this is what I'm just comparing this to what Gunn just did. This is not exciting people like Cavill did back at that point, right? So that is that can be a issue right there. But go ahead, Danny.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say the same guy that was like, oh, he was talking about my stream, which wasn't the case at all. But he said, oh, I just heard that so many DC fans actually hope that they change the suit and just they hope for multiple suits and about how stupid. But the same guy who said that, said that Warner Brothers is actually desperate in reaching out to Henry Cavill and asking him to promote and support David Cornsweet and this suit. I'm like, shut up. No.
That was
that ain't happening.
Just so people understand what Danny's talking about, because you did a stream again speculating. Hey,
is it possible?
Is this the final suit that Gunn's going to use? Because I still feel, because I want to make clear, because I had my opening remarks on this suit controversy. This is a suit you're getting, folks. Like this, if you're hoping, like, hey, maybe now will Gunn set up another suit in the future or things like that? Maybe. Is there another suit in the Fortress of Solitude? That's a question mark, right?
It's not unheard of. I mean, when even in the SnyderVerse films, we saw he had different suits
on the ship.
Exactly. And not just with Superman, but Batman changes suits, Superman. They will start off with something like, here's your starter, and then at the end of the film they
got a long space travel suit. I mean, he's got a bunch of different suits. Sure.
Right.
That's not a bad speculation at all. And like I said, that's why I looked into it more. And it's like I was so resoundingly like, this is the suit, right? You're getting this suit, but could it be a chance for another one down the line, or again some kind of reveal? We'll see, right? We'll see. But there's nothing wrong with speculating.
Nobody's saying, "Oh, gee, I hope they just toss this out and give him a whole new one." Nobody said that. Everybody was saying that. There's a possibility this could not be the finished product. There could be an upgrade in the future, or a change, or again, laundry day. He doesn't have a whole lot of time to do his own laundry.
I'm just saying. That's probably setting up another potential. But the bulk of the film, I was told, definitely, he's gonna be. This suit's gonna be lived in. Is the term?
Yes.
That was said. So that is what it is. TJ, member for 27 plus months, says that suit is just a sad state of affairs. Oh man. He said you should fully embrace the Kingdom Come style, but the suit is just too busy and bulky. Mikey versus Forever for sure. That bulky, that I'm with you 100%. Bulky look that needs to evolve somehow. When I review this film, because I'm gonna watch it, and it's gonna be an eyesore if I'm seeing him wrinkling every time he moves his arms. I'm just saying.
Send a letter to Gunn. Send a letter to James Gunn.
I'm just saying.
I'll tell you his parents' address, and you can just mail it to that house, and I'm sure Mama Gunn will make sure he gets it.
I'm just saying, bro. But now, what Keith was alluded to was the clean look that was put out there, which is an improvement. I will give it that. This is definitely an improvement to the dirty, charred look. Again, I still have the bulky shoulders, but you see more of the suit. Just again, this is an edit.
It's a filter.
So,
yeah.
Exactly. So it's like whatever issues I had is not solved with this. It's like, okay, clean suit. You see a little bit more of the yellow outline, Keith, right? I think that's what you was kind of pointing out.
Yeah.
Let's see. In fact, I may pull up like a bigger shot of this, but that's kind of the point there. It's like you kind of see a little more of that outline when it's not dirty right there. So that makes sense. Let's see in the chat here. What are we saying outside of you hate it totally? Let's see here.
I'm getting called creepy, but that's okay.
Did we go creepy? What's going on? Everyone calm down.
I'm always a little creepy. It's fine.
Shout out to everyone over here again on YouTube. On my YouTube. We got multiple YouTubes going on here. So yeah. Shout out to my YouTube channel. Make sure y'all smash the like. Make sure you still subscribe. Much appreciated. We're gonna cover this until the wheels fall off, I guess. And then we're on Danny's channel, Comics and Cosmetics, Comics First. Over there. Definitely, you can catch Danny over here. If you're watching from Danny's channel every Wednesday, watch from her channel, my channel. Yeah, there we go. And then
thank you, bro. Awesome. Thank you, TJ. Thank you. That's really sweet. I've recuperated quite well. I'm walking around and swimming laps and getting ready for the next. Thank you very much.
Yeah, because you had that procedure and then the scheduling. Like you was ready to come back actually, like in like a week.
Yeah, I was like, I'm good. Let's go.
I was like, I can't do it. No, can't do it. But I'm glad it's worked out for Tuesday. And then shout out to everyone on X Twitter as well. Share this stream on Twitter and on see, I knew this on Twitter. Your handle, Danny, is Cosmetics and Comics.
Well, that's my handle because some weirdo out there decided to take Comics and Cosmetics.
And it was part of that Cavill Scoop guy. Maybe he took.
Yeah, maybe it was him. He does love me an awful lot. He talks about me all the time.
Amazing. Time will tell with this suit overall. We actually have one more topic we want to touch on. I know we spent a lot of time on Superman.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So rightfully so. But because that was like a pop culture. That was almost like the rap beef that was going on. It's like, yeah,
bro. I haven't had a chance to tell you, but yesterday, my 15-year-old daughter tried to explain to me and Dave about rap beef. And we were like, listen, you sweet summer child, my generation created that whole concept. I'm going to pop in some Tupac, okay? You're going to learn today.
Wow. How far that traveled, because like everyone was talking about that rap beef. And hey, as far as me, I'm a huge music fan as well, so it's like that was cool. We got some West Side people. I
always say until Drake and Kendrick go live bar to bar, I'm not interested.
Yeah, so, there you go.
Put them both on stage in front of a crowd.
Right
let's
now,
go.
It's got some good music though. Like
it's just Twitter trash talk.
It's all trash talk until
they dropped like 5 tracks, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you want to hear how that sounds, there's a Tupac and Biggie freestyle live. It's a Funkmaster Flex mixtape. Go listen to it on Spotify, and that's exactly what I want.
Learn today, children. Learn today. Gen X is here for you.
Yeah.
And now we're back on topic. We're talking about comics, Marvel. What? Sorry.
We talking about
DC, Superman.
We talking about Drake and Kendrick Lamar. But no, let's our final topic. We're gonna touch on this. Marvel will release no more than 3 movies and 2 shows per year. Hold on,
everyone, stifle your laughter.
Iger said, "Slow down."
Now, first off, one thing I know, I'm glad I have the panel. I'm glad I have the panel section like I do, because I think me and Speedy we'll probably have a pretty good conversation about this. Danny and Keith are going to crash out the further we go in this article. All right, so let's go. Let's go.
All right. Don't worry. We'll do the heavy lifting. It's okay.
Bob Iger said, hey, his new mission is to drop the number of Marvel TV series to 2 a year, and the film output to no more than 3 movies per year.
Did anyone else just hear like Timothy Chalamet on SNL go, bro, you capping?
like on loop. I will say I'm of the opinion, and I think Keith was ready to tag team in on this one. I'm of the opinion, though. I actually think 3 films are too much, to be quite honest.
Honestly.
Overall,
that's exactly the same. That's exactly
kind of what they're doing right now.
They had before. This is like when you go buy a used car and the sticker price says, dude, this is on sale. It's normally like $45,000. You can get it for $29.95. But the whole time it was always $29,995. They just made up the other number. Yeah. This is exactly that.
Less than 30.
He's a used car salesman.
It's just so that was the point. That's the point right there, Dave. Like, is Iger just kind of playing the headlines, trying to pull a fast one here, saying, hey,
he's
it down.
He's doing bad. I mean, they're hurt financially. If they didn't have the parks, they'd be out of it. And guess what? This is exactly what got Bob Chapek taken out. What you are doing right now, what Bob Iger is attempting to do, is what Bob Chapek was going to do. He had talked about it. And his opinion, though, was that things were so bad with Lucasfilm, he was just going to let Kathleen just take it all the way to the drain on that one. He was just going to back off and let Lucasfilm slide off until there was no other way to fix it but to fire her and probably everybody else that worked there, and then just replace it with people that actually want to be there.
And now they're trying to say, no, it's actually not Kathleen. She's really not all that, woke and stuff. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shut up.
The truth is
where did that story come from? Yeah. Like, that came out of nowhere right there. Like, it so happens she's not woke. Like, huh?
Yeah.
What?
Like, we're
damage control.
Stupid.
It's all damage control.
Come on.
Yeah.
The Force is female is not anymore Kathleen? That's the shirt she was wearing. I'm just saying, but she's not woke. Okay.
I have a picture of her wearing one of my shirts, so.
But here's the other thing. They got to fix Marvel, too. And as of right now, Kevin Feige, he's in a world of hurt. He may not know it, and if he doesn't, well, just look at the flowers, Kevin. Look at the flowers.
What I've been hearing about Kevin is actually kind of sad. Minus
the word kinda.
Underrated comment right here. Underrated comment.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
I am excited about Darth Jar Jar.
Feige he had his hands on every Marvel project until the last couple of years. And they're like, we're going to do more projects. So you're going to have to like delegate and diversify, who handles what. So not every project got the Feige touch. He didn't have control over certain things. And now they're blaming him when he only did like 1 or 2 of the projects. And they're like, okay, you're going to have to control all of them now. Again.
That's part of the spin. The thing about Kevin Feige is that when you look at the person who is directly responsible for training him when he became a professional, Laura Shula Donner, nice woman from what I'm hearing, don't know her personally, but when it comes to adapting things, she is the queen of I don't care.
Oh, no.
She does not care about the source material at all. And so the thing about Kevin Feige is that he walked into a situation where he was dealing with the Marvel Creative Committee, planning everything out. All of what they had going into Phase 3 was stuff that the Marvel Creative Committee already had. They had already discussed it. They had worked out how to get there. The problem is when Kevin starts to go freestyle, because again, as I've argued, and it is now starting to come out, he's not as big a comic book fan as we were told he was.
That's fighting words.
Okay?
That's some fighting words.
I'm willing to stand by it. I'm saying that his knowledge of comics pretty much goes into the 90s. If you go beyond the 90s, pre-90s, I think he's as weak
I agree
can
with
get.
You. Yeah,
and he doesn't know. And he only knows certain characters. He doesn't know all of Marvel. And that's the reason why having him running all of Marvel has affected all of Marvel. Whether you're talking the comics, whether you're talking Marvel television, whether you're talking anything, it is not good because you have somebody running it, first of all, who's not a billionaire who can throw money at it, but at the same time, he's not as knowledgeable as anyone that has been reading Marvel comics for decades. Anybody that has read Marvel comics prior to the 1990s, guess what? You got one over on the guy running everything. Because he really doesn't know that much. He only knows what little he has found out or going down and talking to younger people.
Right. And they're supposed to have, so I can't remember what they call it. It's not like a conservationist, but they have someone on staff, historian. They have a historian.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to know this stuff. They have a room with like all the books ever.
They have that at DC too.
Have this too.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If you get to the point where you need to use someone like that, you need to think maybe actual knowledge of this stuff may not be your forte. You might as well stick to the thing that you are good at. As far as I'm concerned, Marvel will run better when Kevin Feige basically just does the one thing he was trained to do, which is be a movie producer. Yeah, that's it. Just make the movies. You don't need to be worried about the TV shows. You don't need to be worried about the comics. You don't need that. The moment he got control of television is when they started contracting in quality. It is because of Kevin Feige that the whole deal with Netflix went sideways. It's a lot of ego stuff involved. He fired
him and Perlmutter.
That's right. Yeah. But it isn't just Perlmutter. It was the person who was in charge of a lot of that stuff for Marvel Television. Kevin Feige didn't like that guy. And when you compare when you compare their records together, Marvel Television did very well, especially those last few years.
Daredevil, all this stuff,
But the moment he leaves and Kevin takes over, everything just goes down. Now, it looks like he had too much to do, quote unquote. But in reality, he only knew certain things. And a lot of the freestyle things that they came up with, like, for instance, the decision to start killing off the Avengers. Okay? Look, we all know now, because of the Russo brothers, that had Kevin Feige been allowed to have his way, when the movie Endgame ended, all of the original Avengers would have been dead. We know that. Okay? That's a Kevin Feige idea. So they had to talk him out of that. The Russos had to talk him out of killing everybody.
Well, we got Peter Saffer in the chat saying, James Gunn's knowledge goes deeper than Feige, Keith. So
I never look. James Gunn was
he wasn't coming to you.
James Gunn was incredibly valuable.
Absolutely.
To Marvel. Because he is a comic book guy. You want to know who the other comic book person was that he had working for him? Joss Whedon. That's where Whedon got a lot of his ideas for Buffy. You may not like him.
I love Buffy. I love Buffy.
No one likes Joss Whedon.
I love his work, but he is such a suspect human being.
Yes.
Another good name as well.
But here's the thing. Whedon was brought in by the studio. That's the big secret. Whedon was brought in by the studio. Okay? The thing about the reason why I bring him up is he's another person who was able to do what he did with these characters because he had the knowledge. Okay, and then you have Jon Favreau.
Yes.
And then you have I mean, when you look at all the talent they had in phase 1, and notice how everybody who was all their major talent, whether they were directors or the writers of the scripts, how all these people mysteriously went away as soon as you got into phase 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the quality goes down, starting with Black Widow, and just keeps getting worse from there. You know? And it's because Kevin Feige is the one planning all it out. And he doesn't know as much as he likes to say he does. But everybody got so used to believing him because he was making so much money. He was, you know, he's like that one character from Tommy Flanagan. He was like Tommy Flanagan. Well, I could have created the character. Yeah,
and he had a good team.
Idea. Yeah,
Feige had a really good team
and
as well.
The guy
too.
he didn't like was Jeff Loeb. I think I was the producer.
Yeah, Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb.
It's another knowledgeable guy right there.
Yeah, but he was the architect of all Marvel television prior to Feige taking over everything. So if
was
you
he
like
Daredevil as well?
it was all under him. That was all under him.
All the Netflix shows. Yeah.
Perlmutter wanted 2 different people in charge of everything. He was smart to put Kevin Feige in charge of the films and put Jeff Loeb in charge of television. So Jeff Loeb's job was every single Marvel television show, whether it be on network or cable or Netflix, was under him. Mm-hmm. So and so notice, as soon as he's gone, they slow walk everything out. Kevin Feige slow walks it. But here's the thing. His ego had to take a hit because what? Everybody loved Daredevil. You know, they were attempting to make a Daredevil for Disney that basically didn't have a lot of the Daredevil actors that you wanted in there. Had they gone with the original idea they came up with under Kevin Feige, there's only 2 people in that cast that would have come from Netflix, and everybody else was brand new. Everybody else was brand new.
And they wanted, another reason they wanted to strip it of most everything is because they didn't want to pay Steven DeKnight.
Exactly. Right. He tweeted about that, right, Daddy? Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're basically they flat out said that they are doing a continuation of that
same
Netflix
continuity.
Series.
Yep.
You owe Steven DeKnight some money.
That's
and
right.
some credit.
You'll cut a check, definitely.
Swallow that pride.
They swallowed the pride. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's what needs to happen.
They had a timeout, and they said, "Oh, let's see what we got going on." And then they said, "Oh, wait, no, we need to rethink this."
It's look the money. Follow the money. Yeah. Always follow the money. You never interfere with the money. You can have whatever problems you want. When it comes to business, once you start messing with the money, you are messing with basically everything. Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's the lesson that Bob Iger had to learn. He had to learn because they burned everything down, and now they're looking at the actors going, "Well, maybe we should do things a little differently."
Do we think? do we think here? Because this article says Iger is quoted saying, getting things in order here, particularly with Marvel. So is Feige getting babysitters? We think, because again, off the rails, phase 4, She-Hulk, all this stuff they were doing, nah.
It wasn't that important until people started finding out how much money they've actually been spending and losing on their films. Once we started getting all that information from England and looking at basically, re-evaluating what has been reported up to this point about what a lot of these Marvel films, really a lot of Disney films, have made and actually lost. Mm-hmm. What you're seeing now is the true depth of how bad things were.
Yeah.
There's a lot more films that lost a lot more money than what we were originally told. And that whole thing about reporting budgets is basically what they were planning on making the movie for and not the actual budget of the film of what they actually made it for. And so now you got a situation like with Snow White, the live action Snow White. That thing is approaching.
They're trying to bury that, right?
Rise of Palpatine levels in the amount of money.
God love you. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah, I'm OG. Again, it's May 25th, kids. May 4th, that's Avengers Day. May 4th is Avengers Day. You got to understand. And so, but really the thing that Iger's having to face is you cannot continue to lose vast amounts of money and have no consequences. That is not how things work.
Correct. And Disney is basically its own little government, its own little self-sustaining country.
You can't continue to make movies and then reshoot, and then on top of that, people seem to forget doing CGI and other visual effects cost money. So every time you reshoot, you have to redo the visual effects. So now, what should have been 20 years ago, where you could make a film for $75 million, that explains why these budgets are getting over to 150, 200 million, 250 million, 300 million.
That might be the reason why they got rid of that one producer.
No, it wasn't just her. No. It wasn't just
Victoria.
Victoria Alonso.
And that's not why they got rid of Victoria Alonso.
She was
a nightmare.
She when you call out the boss, okay, you either should be someone who's about to take their job or willing to lose yours. That's what happens when you call out the boss.
Right.
And that goes for anybody in any job. Would you ever tell your boss what to go do with themselves? Would you ever tell them to their face that they're doing a bad job? Would you ever tell your boss's boss what to go do with themselves? Because that's what she did.
Or stupid crap like X-Men is sexist. It should be X-people.
That's why she should have gotten fired. Yeah, she should have gotten fired for that statement.
But among all those things, I'm sure also to add onto the pile of her transgressions probably was a lot of that wasteful spending of redoing CGI and changing things around, and
the way she was treating the VFX houses. There was 25 plus VFX houses companies that worked on Quantumania, and they had to cut 11 action scenes from that movie because Victoria Alonso ran off all the houses. 25 plus companies she ticked off so bad, insulted them so much that they're like, we're done. We don't care.
That affected the movie. That affected the final product.
And again, this isn't just about Marvel. If this were just a Marvel thing, that'd be different. But it's the same thing with Star Wars. It's the same thing with Disney Animation.
Yes.
Okay. It is all about this thing where, we can redo it. We can fix it in post. We can do this. It's great solutions you guys are coming up with, except that everything you are doing is costing you even more money. So you're driving your budget up, which means that shrinks your profits. The more you spend in the beginning, the smaller your profits are in the end. It's what I've said before in this program. That's part of the reason why the Fox Marvel movies, mainly the X-Men films, had to go. They were trying different things, but they were spending so much money. It was shrinking the profit to the point where it was just too expensive to make an X-Men movie with all the characters, because in the end you'd spend so much money that it almost wasn't worth it. So that's the reason why, let's just have Logan in the entire universe, and they did. That's why
I'm kind of scared when they get to the Secret Wars stuff, because you can't just mail that in.
No,
not from a effect standpoint. You know what I mean?
But again, the problem is, have they learned everything they should learn? No. My thing is, at this point, I don't think so. I don't really think so. To me, you've got a solution, which is, hey, back up the dump truck of money, and you bring in Hugh Jackman. Okay, that's one thing. What else? Back up the dump truck of money, bring in RDJ. That's fine. What else? Back up the dump truck of money, and let's go ahead and get the writers back. Let's get the guys. Look at which team of writers is the best team of writers they've ever had in the history of the MCU. I'll tell you, it's the two guys who came up and wrote Civil War and wrote Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Guess what? They were also the writers behind Captain America.
The first one, right?
No, they were the writers behind Captain America, the Winter Soldier also.
Okay.
And so the Russos took those guys when they left. When they left Marvel, they took those guys with them.
Mm-hmm.
So get them back. Get the Russos back. And back up the dump truck of money. Look, if you stop wasting,
it's gonna cost.
Yeah, if you stop wasting money refilming things and just do it right the first time, you don't have to worry about spending an additional $100, $200, $300 million on a production.
Right, and let's all be 100% real here. The most important thing you need to nail down is your writing team.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Marcus and McFeely. Thank you, Amari. Marcus and McFeely are your two best.
Absolutely.
They are the best writing team in the history of the MCU. If you are not paying them top dollar, you're an idiot. Kevin Feige.
You're shooting yourself in the foot.
I think he's an idiot, but now a lot of stuff though, Keith, you say is past tense. Right now we got this new slate coming up that me and Speedy are excited for Marvel. We got the 20. Obviously, Deadpool Wolverine is like.
Heck,
we don't have to argue about that.
Yeah, I don't know one human being on the planet who is not excited.
Yeah, everyone's going to watch that. Now, Keith, you would say Ryan Reynolds, right? And I get you, of course. Give him all the credit for that. Hugh Jackman, great, right? But 2025, like they're saying here, this is kind of, though I just like, only 3 movies a year. 2025 is going to have 4 films. I'm going to
tell you guys right now, they're reshooting the crap out of Captain America Brave New World.
Yes.
Yeah.
And whatever Thunderbolts is going going through, they running with that reshooting and redoing scenes.
Right.
All just have a moment of emotional support for poor million-year-old Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he's probably
he's
like, why did I sign up for this?
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's Harrison Ford right now is where Michael Keaton was last year. Okay, you gotta look at him and go, that look where, what am I really doing here? I mean, I'm gonna cash the check, of course, but what am I doing here? You can't keep doing this because eventually you're gonna, eventually whoever's really picking up the tab for all of this is basically just gonna tell you one of these days, I don't think so. We're not gonna give you.
Did you guys see the McDonald's Happy Meal leaks?
Yeah.
What is going on?
McDonald's didn't want to wait, and they said, screw this, and released it.
What is going on?
The balls on McDonald's, man.
Yeah.
No, it costs money. See, this is one of the things that you do. Product tie-ins help to pay for the movie. But if you continue to reshoot, then whatever advantages you have in having a movie that didn't cost that much by the time it hits theaters, it doesn't mean anything because now you got a whole new set of bills to pay for. This is just dumb, is really what it is. And ultimately, I think, look, Kevin Feige can survive this, but what he needs to do, seriously, is stop trying to run all of Marvel and get back to doing what made him the man, which is just run the movies and stop acting like you know everything. Bring in the people that actually know everything and let them do their job. All you got to do is sit there and smile.
And stop dropping the F-bomb, Kev. Okay? It's just weird when you say it.
It's weird.
Because of Deadpool, Danny. That's why they're doing, Feige is saying
I know, but still, it was awkward. It was forced. It was like, shut up, Kevin.
I think the 2025, I think it's going to be a pretty important year for MCU. I actually, I'll say in the chat, people are chiming in about this. I think all these films are going to come out. I actually believe. I believe Blade's going to actually get shot.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. I believe they're going to do all this stuff. Now, the performance, though, I'm just saying, Captain America, starting with that, like, again, I'm going to watch everything, obviously, but, like, is there enough pop, like, Speedy, like, the excitement level for Captain America, Sam Wilson, Cap, he's going to form a new version of the Avengers. Right. Red Hawk's in it, right? Got the McDonald's toys. Is there enough momentum? I mean, they have time to build it up.
I don't know. They got time to build it up. But right now, if this was coming out, I don't know, where are we in? May? If this is coming out in July,
this summer, like
June,
Deadpool,
summer, yeah, I would say I don't know. I would say we're in trouble.
Yeah,
we're in trouble. I don't see the buzz. I don't see nothing.
That's the least.
Yeah, but it's
look,
it's getting close.
You got Blade is the one that I'm worried about. Mahershala Ali might retire from acting by the time this movie finally comes out.
This man,
I mean, he's been waiting longer than everybody else, and they haven't. Again, if this were phases 1, 2, or 3, that film would have been out long ago. And my question is, what's so hard about making a Blade film? You don't need to spend $200 million making a Blade movie. You know, spend $75 million and let's get to it. It's a stunt fest,
right? The script rewrites. They're on number 5 now.
Oh, geez, maybe 6 by now, maybe even 7.
Who knows?
I think they're on the 5th rewrite that they've
supposedly he's happy with the script. Supposedly he's happy with the script right now. So I know there's different reports coming out. I think they're going to get this film shot because they kind of have to at this point.
Look, I'm going to be 5 years old by the time all the things I want to see.
All I know is I try and go to the gym once a week so I can stay alive for all this stuff. At least try.
Well, look,
okay? Gotta keep my ticker running.
I already know I'm not looking forward to Fantastic Four. I already know that Thunderbolts is just not going to be what the
Force I'm gonna push back on Fantastic Four, but Thunderbolts, Keith, I'm with you on that. Thunderbolts needs a lot more pop.
I'm afraid Captain America and Thunderbolts are gonna be a bunch of gobbledygook.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. I'm in agreement on that.
And again, there are a lot of other movies that Kevin Feige originally wanted. I think they're gonna just fast track their way straight to Secret Wars. That's the only thing they can do. Oh, why? Because everybody's getting older. You got to remember, Henry Cavill just had a birthday. He just turned 41. Okay? All you people out there bemoaning the fact that Henry Cavill's no longer Superman got to understand, you can only do a lot of these big action films for so long. Not everybody's Tom Cruise.
It's called cartilage, kids. It's called cartilage. It's a finite resource. It goes to
They got shots for that, but now with 2025,
excuse me, sir. No, the hell they do not. Okay, why was I on hiatus? Because cartilage is gone.
As far as
when your bones are rubbing like this,
yes,
it's not so much fun.
Yes,
Keith had to come on camera. It's real now.
I'm gonna have to wrap up soon because I'm late to take my Celebrex. And that is a fact. That is not a joke.
Keith didn't like that joke. But now, so 2025 is going to do what it do. But like Keith was saying, it's about getting to Secret Wars as soon as possible. And that's why Deadpool Wolverine is going to have, that Secret Wars actually, setup, because they're trying to get kind of bypassing the 2025 films. But Fantastic Four is going to be important as well. But it's about that getting to that 5th Avengers film in 2026 is, what Iger's trying to get to. And I mean, again, the performance of these next few films is going to be telltale. This is probably why I want to say why Iger is cutting down, because I think he's anticipating, Speedy, that, like you said, Captain America, Thunderbolts, not going to do that well.
He's getting the memos. He's in the email chains. He's he's seen what's been filmed already.
Right.
There you go.
You got to be honest. You got to be honest about what you're seeing, because again, this is not his money. This is other people's money. You can't keep. Yeah. That's right. You can't keep. Oh, that's the bank's money, really.
Well, yeah.
But you can't keep making mistakes and spending money. When you go off to college and the parents give you the card, it's for emergencies only, and all you're doing is spending on parties. Eventually, it comes due. The bill comes due. And for Kevin Feige, that knock at the door, that's not the pizza delivery man. That's the bill coming due.
That's that earnings call.
You've got to pay. That's it. And again, I'm not trying to be the bad guy. Look, I like Kevin Feige. He's a great salesman. But again, you can't keep trying to trick your way out of things. To me, whatever plan they had, when they began Phase 5, ain't happening. I'm telling you right now, it ain't happening. Avengers Secret Wars will be their opportunity to offload a lot of the talent that they had because they are getting older.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay?
Definitely.
I keep telling people, look up the ages to some of these actors. Trust me. Mm-hmm. It's an eye-opening experience. And eventually, if you want to keep someone around to make 3 films, you need them to be available to you for at least a decade. Mm-hmm. And so, really,
their knees need to have cartilage.
That's right. So
yeah,
eventually,
it's opportunity.
We're back on cartilage again. Is that
but it's wow. I can tell you never. Still, your time is coming. Your time is coming. Your body will rebel.
Yeah. Right, 10 years from now, like, I'm gonna come back to this video like, oh man, what was I thinking?
Hey. You go into the kitchen, you decide to get yourself some cereal, you reach up to grab that box and you pull a muscle. That's the way it happens. Yeah, it can happen just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So as we wrap this one up, Wednesday crew.
Now.
Definitely really cool having obviously the regular Wednesday crew and then adding Danny to it as well. I think it was a perfect addition. So appreciate you, Danny, making yourself available. And I'm assuming weekly we'll get you on here. We got our cartilage drink down there.
Yeah.
I finished my haterade.
Well, if any of you guys are ever available on a Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, then you'll have to hop on mine.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Danny, you are fun. You are just. You're fun.
Danny knows her stuff, for sure. We disagree. I don't know if y'all know, we disagree about every single take. I mean, we disagree how to say her handle name. So I'm just saying, I need that,
A little hot sauce goes a long way.
She's just serving the ball hot. Baby. She's serving the ball hot back at you. That's all. That's it.
I need that opposite. That keeps me, keeps me humble. So,
you know, we love you, Sil. You know, we love you, Sil. We do.
Hey, love y'all too, man. This is great. Appreciate, like I said, y'all chiming in. A lot of talk about Superman. I'm sure a lot will come up more about that, and I can't wait personally, especially for this Wednesday crew, when more Star Wars stuff comes out, because I can't wait to see Danny and Keith just like. Me and Speedy may not even talk that stream at all. We're just gonna be let's let y'all go.
Yeah, we're supposed to do Star Wars stuff. I haven't even watched the Tales of the Empire yet, and I'm kind of afraid to watch it.
I haven't. Well, I saw some mixed.
Yeah, mixed results.
I saw reviews. Some mixed. Talk about it. I'm still gonna check it out though. Tales of the Empire.
Bad Batch was okay. I finished that.
I still got finished that.
I had trouble. Yeah. I had trouble, because I would watch X-Men 97 first. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how am I supposed to watch anything else right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of filler in Bad Batch. You're kind of like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's what I'm kind of feeling.
It does end well. There you
go. But Clone Wars, I have been enjoying that. Again, I'm only a couple seasons into it, but
you're new to Clone Wars?
Yeah, like I said, I'm about 2 seasons in. Yeah.
Dude, okay.
I think I convinced him to watch Clone Wars, actually, Danny.
My kids got me into Clone Wars. Like, Mom, it's Star Wars. I'm like, yeah, it's a cartoon now. And they're like, no, Mom, it's really good. And so I sat and watched it with them one. I was like, wait a minute.
Like, this is important. Hold up. Yeah. Same thing happened to me. And then I got hit with a filler episode.
Yep.
And I was like, oh.
They got me with Ahsoka. Now she's my bottom.
Look at this. Keith for Star Wars forever. I can't wait to that.
Don't worry, Keith. I'm still trying to get through Voyager right now. Okay.
I cannot wait. This is gonna be the hottest stream when the Acolyte series drops.
I know
one of my very dear friends is in that show.
Voyager?
No, not Voyager.
Okay.
An Acolyte in the Acolyte.
Okay.
No, one of my nemesis is in Voyager, and that dude's a. But
really?
Anyway, one of my very dear friends, he was actually in a big R&B. his band, his group was on the Bad Boys soundtrack. Emanate.
Okay.
I got a little something for you. I got a little
the first Bad Boys?
Yeah, that's it.
Boys, yeah.
Keith knows. Look at him. So my friend in that group, he's been a Lucasfilm actor for many, many years. Many years. And he's never, ever, ever said anything that was less than absolutely glowing about Disney and Lucasfilm. And his experience on The Acolyte was so upsetting.
Oh, you mean the live action version of Arcane?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It was his experience on set was so awful that he's like, I think I'm done.
Wow, that's
I'm
horrible.
done with them. It's just so bad. I was mistreated by Lindsay Headland's wife, who is one of the stars of the show, the green meanie, whoever she's playing. Yeah, that's her. She was awful. And she just talked down to him like he was the biggest POS. I'd be like,
well, now you can see. Now you can see why Harvey hired her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Former Weinstein assistant there, Leslie Headland. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you. 5,000 emails just disappeared on X, but I'm sure they will be found someday.
Delete.
Yeah. Control delete.
So
I'm sure they'll be found someday.
Before we close this down, in the chat,
so we're gonna pull you to 2 hours. Come on, we got 20 minutes to go.
We're almost there.
I'm hungry, Speedy.
Right.
Me too.
Me too.
I don't Speedy hungry. The only calories I had was this Coca-Cola. That's it.
So look at you. I know a lot of people in the chat was talking about the bundling of streaming services. Disney Plus, who was already bundled with Hulu. They're doing a bundle with HBO Max.
Yeah, did TJ give us a link?
We don't need a link. It's not as epic as y'all think it is. It's more of just like a value price. Like the more you bundle in, you get a lower price for all three services.
Honestly, all that stuff's going up on Amazon. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. And Amazon kind of does the same thing.
Yeah.
Amazon has like an HBO Max channel. It has, the other channels on there as well too. So not the complete. You're going to see who is it? Paramount Plus and Peacock. They're going to do the same thing probably in the next month. That doesn't signify that they're like merging companies. It's literally just like a value price, and the more you
I watch
bundle
Paramount
together,
through Amazon right now.
the less it is. Yeah. So that's kind of what that is. I know people were saying in the chat. It just Keith was in the middle of a diatribe. I didn't want to interrupt him, but it's not. It wasn't that big of a news as people thought with that. It's more, again, like I said, just the more you buy, the more you get like $5 off, $10 off, something like that. So we're still waiting on the actual Warner Brothers sale or merge or whatever they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah. That's going to happen within the next year or two.
Yeah, I think by this fall, I think we'll get some kind of decision. And Paramount is, Sony wants to buy them.
And what did I say? I was like, it'll be within 2 years. 2 years. And here we are. We're like right at the end of that 2-year mark.
I think it's a real good chance for that. And I was surprised that Sony is trying to, coupling with someone else to try to buy Paramount.
Well, we'll see if the government lets that go through.
Yeah.
That's probably why Paramount's not going to agree to it.
Well, it's not just about them agreeing to it. It's about whether or not the federal government will let that go through. Because from what I'm hearing, they regret allowing Disney to acquire Fox now. And so that might just sour them on anybody else that tries to make that same deal. I know. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to agree with you. Like, you and I are probably the only ones old enough to remember when the government stepped in and made Bill Gates chop up Microsoft.
Or I remember when they chopped up Ma Bell.
Yeah.
All the Bell stuff.
All the Bell stuff.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
I think now in modern times, they're going to just pay off the lobbyists, and you're going to be okay pushing this stuff through.
It depends. They're like the government. The government is like mafia.
Now.
As long as you give them their cut,
I can see them poor senators getting harassed by Disney people.
It's going to take something pretty major, though. Yeah.
Look, all I know is Sony. I don't have anything against Sony. I just
other
think
than
that
their superhero movies.
The superhero movies are kind of horrendous. But it's okay.
Watch Madam Web.
It gives us things to talk about. I'll tell you that.
I just think that really things will be better if you could find a way of making it work. I just don't think that Sony is really going to do that. I just think that with Sony, we'll get a little bit of the same. I know that it's going to allow certain IPs within Paramount to feel good about themselves for a while, and I'm all about giving them pain. I want them to feel some pain because of what they did to Star Trek. They need to feel more pain.
We just became best friends, Keith. We just.
Oh yeah, we are best friends now.
Come back for more Paramount hate from Keith and Danny. And,
it's not Paramount hate. I'm just saying.
It's heartbreak.
I see my Paramount stock dropping even more now.
Look,
an atrocity, and we're heartbroken. Okay.
I just think that Skydance is going to bring the kind of pain to certain people that I want to see. And when I say certain people, I mean JJ and his best buddy, who is currently running Star Trek Into the Ground, Alec, and
Kurtzman.
Yeah, that name. I just wish them pain right now from Skydance. That's it. That's all. That's what I really want to see.
Skydance is the favorite to, if you're talking about buying Paramount or merging, wherever they're going to call it.
What it is that isn't their deal. Skydance's deal is slightly different. They just want to give Sherry Redstone money for her shares. That's it.
It's more of a merge.
It's more of a merge, but controlling interest is really what they're asking for. And that way they can push their weight around and make certain people disappear out of the company.
Terry Matalas just needs to be in charge of Star Trek top to bottom from now on. And just
you want
that or my other twin brother, Robert Meyer Burnett. And that way, if Robert Meyer Burnett were in control, then I'd feel real good because I know that JJ would never be allowed or near anything, and that Alex Kurtzman would basically, me versus Alex Kurtzman. Yeah.
Set it up. Set it up, Danny. Set it up. Call your people.
Okay.
Like, how many beefs, next is going to be Kendrick Lamar, the way we're going here.
I don't know. I like Kendrick and I are on the same page.
Terry Matalas does follow me on Instagram.
Follow you?
Yeah. I'll shoot him a message and be like, hey, so what about a cage match between my friend Keith and Alex? What do you say?
Wow. Hey, there we go. There we go, Keith, with all the beefs. But we got to dip on out of here until next Wednesday. We'll see who is Keith's verse next time, and the rest of us will just be geeking out.
Fill this up. Fill it up.
Watch X-Men 97. There you go.
Watch X-Men 97. No spoilers for sure. It's amazing. It's straight from the comics. I'm not gonna say anymore. X-Men 25. Link in the description.
Where's my issue? Hold up.
And X-Men 304. All the panelists, their links are in the description. I think I still gotta add Danny. I'm sorry, I gotta add you to the Wednesday list. But still love you. Much love to Sil Nation. Mikey versus Forever. Until next time.
To Sil Nation. Stay tuned.
Sylabdul ink to speak true as he bring the news. Coffee talk, stay brew, kick back, get real comfortable. Here to stay, no on delay, make sure I be's informed. On the road, on the go, playing ball on that pavement floor. It's the lifestyle right now, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Guaranteed all week's going to always be on time. That's my word, y'all heard from Il Divino Vega's mouth. What's the words much more than what these networks talk about?